Town Council. It is good to be here tonight, and I appreciate all of you being here. And it's great to see so many people take an interest in the future of the kids, really, in the public schools, because that's what this is all about. Similar to Kevin, I am also a proud product of the public schools, except the year he graduated from high school is the year I was born. And obviously the school
turned out all right.
I did. I see teachers here in the room today that I had not only at Morgan Elementary, but at Peck Middle School and at Holyoke High School. Graduated in 2007. Similar to Nadia, I was a student in the Upward Bound program at Northfield, Mount Herman, a program for both low-income and first-generation college students. And my parents didn't have the expertise around the college application process, financial aid, similar to many of the families here in the public schools. But they always instilled in me the value of education, the value of hard work, and they wanted for me what they didn't have for themselves. And so I went on to Brown University, and being a graduate from Holyoke Public Schools, I had internalized, obviously, this feeling that maybe I wasn't as smart as the other classmates I would be in class with. When I got to my university, and I quickly learned that everybody's the same. And I think it was important for me to have access to that institution to be able to come back to Holyoke and provide that same opportunity to every young person here in the community. And one of my main reasons for running for this position in the first place, over 4 years ago, was because every child, no matter what language they speak, what they look like, what neighborhood they come from, deserve a good education. And I recall my days at Holyoke High School, and I could sit here and I could list off the good things about the public schools, because there are many, many good things, be it the athletics, the high school musicals, the school events. Which team, congratulations to them, by the way. And I could go on and on all night about the good things in the public schools and the great dedicated teachers we have, the vision of our superintendent, the collaboration of the school committee. But I also have to look back to my days at Holyoke High School. When I walked into Holyoke High School as a freshman, I had 500 classmates. When I walked out of Holyoke High School 4 years later, there were 220 classmates. So over 300 students were lost in that 4 years. Some of them went to other schools, some of them dropped out, obviously, and fast forward to 2015, and they're walking through the doors of Career Point, they're walking through the doors of City Hall, looking for a job, they're walking in the doors of manufacturers downtown, trying to get a good job, and I chair an organization called MIDAC, the Mayor's Industrial Development Advisory Committee, and every month they say the same thing, that it's challenging to find employees for their companies. And so while I want to recognize and appreciate everything that's good about the public schools, as mayor, I also have a responsibility to say that we can do better. Because we can. And I do recognize that the graduation rate, we can do better. And I think that is something to acknowledge. We can't continue to say it's the teacher's fault. We can't continue to say it's the parents' fault. We can't continue, while we can recognize the impact that poverty and homelessness have on our students, we can't continue to point fingers. I think it's time today to take collective responsibility that I as a student, I as a mayor, I as a teacher, I as a parent, take personal responsibility to transform the Holyoke Public Schools. And to be frank, I don't think that's been the conversation that we've been having in this community. Well, it is unfortunate. And so I think today, now more than ever, it's important to unite around that message that we're proud of what's happening here in the city, but we can do better. It's not okay that hundreds of young people are falling through the cracks day after day. I published an op-ed in both Commonwealth Magazine and the Republican last week after the recommendation of Commissioner Chester that he would recommend receivership to the Board of Education. I think we all can recognize that that's a situation that none of us would ask for, none of us would want for our city. Obviously, local control is something we want to maintain here in the city, and that's what it's intended to do. In light of his recommendation, I have to be prepared, and I think we all need to be prepared for what is next. Local control, receivership, partnership, and I think it's important that we do what we can to educate ourselves about what that could mean for the city of Holyoke. As Senator Humison said, I also don't have all the answers, nor do I pretend to. I think it's important we rely on both the experience of the teachers in the room, the administrators, because we have many, obviously, here in this room and in this district that hear about our students. But I don't think it's productive to incite fear in our teachers and our students. And I recall when the students came to City Hall last week, and then when they got to the steps of City Hall, some of them are saying things like, I didn't do anything. Why is this my fault? And if a student is getting a message that this is their fault, that's the completely wrong message they should be receiving. It's not the student's fault, this situation. And I've heard other statements that everything good about the district, the athletic programs, the musical programs, if the state comes, all the teachers will be fired. And I think sending that message through the halls of our schools is a negative one and not a productive one. And I think I call upon each and every one of you in this room to make sure that you do your part to quell rumors around this community. One of the reasons we're in the position we're in today is because we haven't completely supported the vision of the superintendent as a collective community. Because things, frankly, are moving in the right direction. Are they moving forward fast enough? Not really. A few years ago, 13% of our third graders were proficient in reading at the end of third grade. Next year, it went up to 15%. And I wish when we announced our literacy campaign that there was this much interest and outrage to the fact that only 15% of our third graders are proficient in reading at the end of third grade. And there's people in this room that have been working on that campaign for years and years. And so my message is this. We can celebrate everything that's good about our district. And if receivership happens, we need to unite to make sure we preserve everything good about our district. That includes our teachers, that includes our families. The worst thing that can happen is for our community to retreat, teachers to go look for other positions, our parents to go look to other schools, because we need you now more than ever. So I want to thank you all for being here. It may not be the message that everyone wants to hear, but I think we need to be realistic about the future of our community. We need to come together. We need to unite around this issue. And at the end of the day, we need to make it more about the children, because this is about the kids and the future of them in this community, because of the direct correlation between what happens in the public schools, public safety challenges, economic development, and otherwise. And so again, I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. And rest assured that throughout this process, no matter what happens, you have a mayor that has your back and wants to engage you in this conversation for a transformation plan. Thank you.